Have you ever wondered, who is your roommate really? Behind closed doors, sometimes it's not safety you find, but horrifying secrets. Here are 3 true roommate horror stories. Listen to the end, if you dare. Story 1. The Secret in the Basement. When conflicts with my parents reached a peak, I had to move out. My living situation was pretty rough. I could only crash on friends' couches for a short time. I started looking for rentals and rooms on apps and websites and finally found a room that caught my eye. On the app, a man named Lucky listed a room for rent in his single-story, 3-bedroom house. The rent was $1,000 a month, and he would be both my landlord and roommate since he also lived in the house. Lucky clearly stated in the ad that he would often be away and the tenant would practically have the place to themselves. However, he also wrote in all caps some rules. No parties, no large gatherings, no drinking in the living room, and no use of the basement. Pretty standard rules. When I went to see the house and meet Lucky, the moment he opened the door, I noticed he was a bit reclusive and odd. He showed me around, his voice shaky and awkward. The bedroom was spacious, and the house had an open layout with kitchen, living, and dining areas all connected. At that rent in my area, it was a steal. Lucky emphasized again that the attic and basement were off limits because he used them only for storage. I agreed. We shook hands, and 2 days later, I moved in. We didn't sign any lease. I paid him directly each month. The bedroom already had a bed and basic furniture. I only hung some decorations and organized my clothes in the dresser and closet. The room had a lock, and Lucky gave me the key, a kind gesture at first. However, Lucky never told me his job. I soon realized his claim of being away most of the time was false. Whenever I came home, his car was always in the driveway. Strange noises outside my bedroom started, footsteps, doors opening and closing. One night, when I went to the bathroom, I noticed the basement door was open. From the top of the stairs, a dim light glowed from a far corner, and banging sounds echoed. Around 2 a.m., I wondered what he was doing. Suddenly, Lucky appeared at the bottom of the stairs, looking up at me, terrifying and indescribable. A week later, I came home to find my bedroom door unlocked and my belongings disturbed. I realized Lucky had his own key and had likely gone through my things, a clear invasion of privacy. When I tried to confront him, he flatly denied it and left. One day, when Lucky wasn't home, I decided to check the basement. The stairs creaked. The basement was small, with only an ugly sofa and a strange, almost sewage-like smell. One door was locked. I didn't dare open it. That night, while sleeping, I heard footsteps near my bed. Turning around, I saw Lucky leaning over me. I screamed. He told me to be quiet and asked if I went into the basement. I said no, and he simply said, "You should find other living arrangements," then closed the door. I packed immediately, got half the rent back, and left. Couldn't stay another minute. Story 2. The Whispering Roommate. In my junior year of college, I moved into a student apartment. My roommate, assigned by the school, was named Jack. At first, he was friendly and polite, always smiling and chatting. But over time, I noticed strange behavior. He lingered in my room, asked personal questions, and rifled through my belongings. At first, I thought it was harmless curiosity, but strange noises from Jack's room at night made me suspicious. One night, I sneaked into the hallway and heard Jack whispering to himself in a low, muffled voice. He called my name, Jerry. I quickly backed it to my room. How did he know I was outside? This continued, and Jack's behavior grew stranger. Sneaky glances, furtive movements. One night, I heard whispering just outside my door. Again, Jerry. I asked, "Yeah, you good?" He didn't respond, only the sound of footsteps walking away. I decided to check Jack's room while he was out. Searching his drawers and closets, I finally found a hidden drawer at the back of his closet. Inside were dozens of photographs of me sleeping and another guy around our age. Some were close-ups showing pores and individual hairs. I realized Jack had been secretly photographing me while I slept. I took evidence and reported it to student housing. I was lucky to be moved to another apartment, never seeing Jack again. The memory of those photos and his whispering still chills me to this day. Story 3. The Stalker Named Rob. At 23, I had to move out of state for work. I searched for a room on Facebook, Craigslist, Twitter. A man named Rob reached out, offering a room. Through video call, he seemed normal. The price was fair, and the rules were clear. A week later, I moved in. Rob initially was friendly, showing me around town, but he tried to invite me for drinks, almost like a date. I politely declined. A few days later, I noticed my things were moved and underwear was missing. I bought a new lock and installed it while Rob was out. One night at 1:30 a.m., Rob banged on my door, calling my name angrily. Later, a girl around my age warned me that Rob had multiple restraining orders from other women and was a dangerous stalker. I immediately packed, found another apartment, and gave Rob a fake reason for leaving. That night, Rob appeared in my room, put his hand over my mouth, and told me to be quiet. 3 stories, all true. Remember, the person living with you may smile during the day, but at night, they could be watching you in the dark.